good? Shalom, brothers and sisters. We do apologize for the delay. We were facing some little difficulty, but we managed to fix the situation. So, is it still frozen? Good. Okay. So we managed to fix the situation and pray that the Most High, allowed this to go well. Yeah, we do apologize for the delay, guys. Everything happened for a reason. We don't stress. Let all praise be unto the Most High. So we cannot be in a rush. All right, so since we start over again, give me Ephesians chapter 6 and 10 for our viewers. Ephesians chapter 6 and verse 10. The book of Ephesians, chapter 6 and 10. Remember, the title of this lesson is Biblical Principle about Wealth and how to become wealthy. The best way to become wealthy. Ephesians chapter 6 and verse 10. Ephesians after Galatians, your way for... You love your Bible? You got to be able to medicate in any Bible, my friend. Ephesians 6 and 10. You're right. Good.
Ephesians chapter 6, verse 10.
Read.
Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Most High and the power of his might.
It says, be strong in the Most High and in the power of his might. Read on.
Put on the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we are wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principality, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places.
So it says, be strong in the Lord and put on the whole armor of the Most High, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. And I want to tell you, brothers and sisters, one of the reasons why, I would say one of the reasons why that we cannot stand against the wile of the devil is because we're not wealthy yet. Reason why we're not wealthy yet. Reason, give me Isaiah 33 verse 6. Sorry.
Isaiah chapter 33
and verse 6. Isaiah 33 and verse 6. Read on.
And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of that time.
It says, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of our time. This is the only thing that's going to make us stable in our time. Is wisdom, having wisdom and knowledge. This is what's going to make you stable. Give me Job chapter 1, verse 1 to 3. Job 1, verse 1 to 3. There's a lot of our people today, if I said that this morning, if you see that you're poor, starting from me, it's because we're not serving the Most High right. Because a righteous man who's serving the Most High shouldn't be living a poor life. Yes, the Most High make a poor and make it rich, but what conditions are you in? Is it the Most High that caused you to be in their conditions, or is it you? Okay? Job chapter 1, get it in the book. This one is ripped off. Look up Job chapter 1, verse 1, 2, 3. You got it?
Yeah, got it.
Read on.
Job 1, verse 1 to 3.
Mm-hmm.
There was a man in the land of Uz,
Of lose.
whose name was Job.
Mm-hmm.
And that man was perfect.
It was what?
That man was perfect.
There was a man whose name was Job. He was perfect. Read on.
And upright.
Uh-huh.
And one of the fear the Most High and eschew evil.
And what made him perfect? Sisters, what made Job perfect? He served the Most High. Anybody else? You're done. What made Job perfect? He was upright. And I'm saying, what made him perfect? The law made him perfect. Psalm 19, verse 7. Gotta be on point. We gotta be sharp on that one. The law of the Most High is what made him perfect. He was walking in all his perfection. Psalms 19, verse 7.
Psalm 19, verse 7.
Read.
The law of the Most High is perfect.
The what?
The law of the Most High is perfect,
Uh-huh.
converting the soul.
So Job was perfect because he was walking according to what? To the law of the Most High. So now go back, finish that one. Finish. The law of the Most High is perfect, converting the soul in what?
The law of the Most High is perfect, converting the soul.
Uh-huh.
The testimony of the Most High is sure, making wise the simple.
So the law of the Most High is what can make you wise. And Job was a wise man, and he walked before the Most High perfectly. Go back in Job. Go back in Job.
Job 1, verse 2.
Read.
And there were born unto him 7 sons and 3 daughters.
I want you to read the first verse again. Verse 1.
Job 1, verse 1. There was a man in the land of Uz, whose name was Job. And that man was perfect and upright.
He said he was perfect and he was upright before the Most High. Read on.
And one that feared the Most High and eschewed evil.
He feared the Most High. Not only he was perfect, he was upright, and he feared the Most High. Read.
And there were born unto him 7 sons and 3 daughters. His substance also was 7,000 sheep, 3,000 camels, and 500 yoke of oxen, and 500 she-asses, and very great household, so that this man was the greatest of all men of the east.
So Job was one of the richest guy around in his time around his neighborhood. Everybody knew Job. Why? Because he was wealthy. And he was what? He was a perfect man. He didn't walk what? Walk how?
He walked upright.
He walked upright. Meaning he's always looking for ways on how to do things the best way to please the Most High. But in our life, do we do the same thing? Do we look for ways to please the Most High? Huh? We don't. And why do we say we're serving the Most High? Because as a man, Job understood one thing. For me to serve the Most High, there must be one thing I must do. I must be wealthy. And for me to be wealthy, I got to walk upright. I got to always look for ways on how to straighten myself financially, spiritually, physically, and mentally. I got to look for ways to do that. Because a slave cannot serve God. If you're a slave to someone, you cannot serve your power. This period. The Most High says, a man cannot serve 2 masters at the same time. Either you will love one and hate the other. You cannot serve Shaitan and you're tending to serve the Most High. Why do I say that? Because if you are being a servant to someone else, you cannot be serving to the Most High. You cannot be an upright person, a man that works perfectly before the Most High. When it comes for the feast day of the Most High, you never have time because you have to punch in. We're not upright yet. We're not perfect yet. We're not walking before the Most High perfectly. And Job is a perfect example. But in Christianity, they tell you that, don't worry, when you get to heaven, that's when you're going to get the wealth. The wealth you're getting is here. It's right there under your face. And this is what calls you not to serve the Most High, how you should be serving the Most High. Because if you are wealthy enough, you make your own schedule. You walk according to you do things according to your own time. Not somebody else's time, right? But the Most High says on Isaiah 33 verse 6, it says, wisdom and knowledge shall be indeed the stability of our time. Job had the wisdom, he had the knowledge, and he was able to apply them into his life that made him become one of the wealthiest person to ever walk upon the face of the earth. When I'm talking about wealth, I'm talking about he didn't just have money. He had the wealth. He had possession, asset. Meaning they could just take one thing and sell it today and get $1 million. During that time, during that era, you have donkeys. You sell an animal, you got a good sum of money. Mm-hmm. Okay? But give me Proverbs 29 verse 18. Proverbs 29 verse 18. But to be wealthy, to become wealthy, there is something that you must have. Proverbs 29 verse 18. Take good notes because
Proverbs
this is going to help us out.
Proverbs 29 verse 18.
Read.
Where there is no vision.
Where there is no what?
Where there is no vision. The people perish.
The people perish. A house that doesn't have a vision, the house is in tremble. Where there is no vision, the people perish. Where there is no great, in other words, if you have a leader who has no vision,
you ain't going nowhere.
You ain't going nowhere. You as a leader of your own household, if you have no vision, you're not going nowhere. Because a vision is the driving force to lead you into success, to become wealthy. If you don't have a vision, you have no sense of purpose in life. You have nothing to strive for. That's what the scripture is telling you. And the rich man, they understood this knowledge. They have this knowledge because they know one thing. For me to do something, I have a vision. I need to have a purpose to fight for something. And the Mosai, the Mosai didn't create men before he had his vision. He had his vision first before he can even make man. Give me Genesis 1 and 3 and 5. 1 verse 3 to 5. Genesis chapter 1 verse 3 to 5.
Genesis chapter 1 verse 3 to 5.
Read.
And the Mosai said, let there be light, and there was light.
The Mosai says, let there be light, and there was light. The Mosai just said, let there be light. No, that was his vision. He finished creating the heaven and earth, and there was no light. And he said, you know what, I got to put some light. And he already see the effect of that light on what it's going to do to the earth. That was the vision. The vision, the definition of vision is the act or power of you, is the power for you to see something without even putting into actions. That's what a vision is. It's something that you already see happen without no execution yet. Okay? That's what a vision is. And the Mosai had that. He had a vision for the earth. He had a vision for us mankind. And he understood something. For him to create mankind, he got to create something that would keep mankind in existence. Because if the Most High just created mankind, right? And then he created no food, nothing for man to eat, right?
That would make no sense.
What would be the importance, what would be the purpose of creating man?
You see, even the Most High created human, he was already created food.
So the Most High created food before he can create a human. Because the Most High had a purpose. He had a vision that he wanted to accomplish. For the earth to be filled, I need to create the source of food so that when I created men, so that way they could be able to sustain themselves with the food that I created. But we as men, how many times we sit down to think about, okay, how can I, with myself, the way I'm living right now, am I in a good condition to really serve the Most High? Are you in a position that if your brother hungry, that you can give hand to him and said, here brother, get something to eat? If you're not in that position, then you know you're doing something wrong. Because you're not applying the wisdom and the knowledge the Most High gave you. Because you should have possessed things that way, wealth, when someone, or your brother or sister or your wife, your kids, your children need something, they could depend on you for you to give them something. This is what the Most High showed us since the beginning. And the first thing the Most High gave men, the Most High gave men work. The Most High didn't give men a woman. He gave men work. The Most High says, I give you the earth, you got to have dominion. Right? He gave men the dominion over the earth to rule over the earth. That was the vision he gave unto men. And he said, be fruitful and multiply. Accomplish your vision. Accomplish the work that I gave you. Right? There's 4 things that comes with you having a vision. And the first thing is, you got to pay attention to that one. We must be physically fit. You're going to ask yourself, what is physically fit has to do with wealth? Oh, my friend, let me tell you, it has everything to do with wealth. How can you enjoy your wealth if you don't have no health? It rhymes together, wealth and health. Rhymes together, right? How can you enjoy your wealth if you don't have no health? If your health is not in good condition. This is the first thing that comes with you having a vision. Okay? Give me 1 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 19 to 20. Let's go fast, brother, because you know the time is at hand and the people, and I don't want to keep them too long. All right? 1 Corinthians 6, verse 19 to 20. How can you enjoy the riches that you have, the wealth that you have, without having a good health? A lot of people, and I know a lot, they work so hard to become rich, but as soon as they reach that level, having the money what they were seeking for, right, they ended up sick. They cannot enjoy the fruit of their labor. All the time they put the lose of sleep, they put towards accomplishing this goal, but they didn't have no time to enjoy it. Now they got to sit down, the same money they work for, the same thing they work for, they got to pay it to a hospital, to a doctor, right, to get medicine or whatever, just to heal themselves, because they're not in the condition to really enjoy their health, their wealth. Give me 1 Corinthians 6, verse 19 to 20.
1 Corinthians 6, verse 19 to 20. What? Know ye not that your body is the temple of the Most High, which is in you, which ye have of the Most High, and ye have not your own.
So the Most High says, first of all, listen, you got to listen to one thing. Your body is the temple of the Most High. What the Most High is trying to tell you is that if your body is the temple of me, you cannot put anything in your body. What I mean by put anything in your body, it doesn't have to do with just food.
Like 1 Corinthians 6.
Okay?
1 Corinthians 6, 19 to 20.
Yes, it's there. It's not just food only. It has to do with, first it has to do, one thing it has to do with what you put in your stomach. The second thing is it has to do with what you do with your body. It has to do whether you doing prostitution, or you committing fornication, do any type of things that's contrary to what the law is telling you that you should be doing. What you said?
Sex change.
Sex changing. What do you mean by that? Changing your gender.
That's one of the abominations.
That is an abomination to the Most High. And you said you want to be wealthy, right? You change your sex. No, you may ask, what does changing my sex has to do with me being wealthy? Yes, it has everything to do with you being wealthy, because you're going to pay all those money that you, all the money you gain, you're going to spend them later just to heal yourself, because you're going to fool with sickness. What you said? And I'm going to show you, sis. Wealth comes with 4 things. And I'm going to give you those 4 things. And without one, you're not wealthy without one. You may be wealthy for one day, but you're not going to be wealthy for the next day. That's the difference. A man that is serving the Most High, when you become wealthy, you're wealthy forever. Not temporarily, wealthy forever. Okay? But the first thing I said, you must be physically fit, meaning that your body, you got to take care of that physically. With either you got to do exercise, that's one part. Because how can you have the energy to focus and concentrate in your vision if your health is not in good condition? Am I right or wrong?
Yep, you're right.
Okay. Next things. Give me 1 Corinthians 6 and 15.
1 Corinthians 6,
Verse 15. Read that for me.
Know ye not that your bodies are the members of Amashiach?
Mm-hmm.
Shall I then take the members of Amashiach and make them the members of an harlot? The Most High forbid.
That's what I was saying. If your body is the Most High's temple, you cannot turn the body of the Most High into an harlot. Meaning that, no harlot. Don't do a harlot. Okay? Because that's going to prevent you from obtaining the wealth that you, or the vision that you have in mind to accomplish. That was 1 Corinthians 6 and verse 15. Now jump to 13 now.
Verse 13.
Read.
Meats for the belly, and the belly for meats.
He said meat for the belly and the belly for meat. Read.
But the Most High shall destroy both it and them. And them now the body is not for fornication, but for the Most High, and the Most High for the body.
Yes. So the body is for the Most High. The Most High is for the body, and the body is for the Most High. So it's not made for fornication. Why would the Most High invest in you to bless you with wealth when you yourself, you destroying the same temple that He gave, His temple? I must say that. The same, okay, how can He invest in you when you destroying the same thing, His body, His temple, that He gave you to help you concentrate and to accomplish your vision? I don't know if that makes sense. It's a little complicated, right? But it's simple. So in other words, the body is for the Most High. If the Most High gave you a body, He cannot bless you with wealth if you cannot even take care of your own body. Because the first thing you should do is taking care of your body. Because if your body is not in good condition, you cannot serve the Most High. If every day you got to go to the hospital, what time do you have for the Most High? You ain't got no time for the Most High, right? If every day you got a headache, you don't feel normal. You always have to deal with something, right? How can you concentrate in serving the Most High? You see why the Most High said your body is supposed to take care of it, right? Because it's the first thing. Before you can think about the law, you got to think about the body. How can I live a healthy lifestyle. And all of us got to try that. The second thing is mentally fit. Give me Proverbs 4 verse 9 through 7 to 9. Proverbs chapter 4 verse 7 to 9. So please share this video, guys, because this is very important that we understood those things. Because that's going to help us in the future. So you know when you're striving for something, you know what's the purpose of you striving for that.
Proverbs 4 verse 7 to 9.
Read.
Wisdom is the principal thing.
It said wisdom is the principal things. This is why I said mentally you got to be mentally fit. First, you got to be physically fit. But second, you got to be mentally fit. And by you being physically fit, it's going to help you become fit mentally. Why? How? Because wisdom. Read. He said, read that again.
Verse 7. Wisdom is the principal thing.
Read.
Therefore get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding.
So in other words, he's telling you about to educate yourself. Fill yourself with wisdom and knowledge and understanding. Meaning that get yourself educated. Get the wisdom. Because wisdom is what's going to save your life. Because in Isaiah 33 and 6, as we read earlier, it says, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of our time. If you have a vision, the only things that can help you accomplish this vision is if you have the wisdom, the knowledge to help you to not making silly mistakes that can destroy you. Okay? This is what wisdom do to you. That's what you call, that's when you are mentally fit. Because wisdom exalts you, will exalt you. Wisdom will promote you. Wisdom will make you sit in places that are high. Give me Proverbs 4 verse 5 to 6. The same chapter, jump to 5 to 6.
Proverbs 4 verse 5 to 6.
Read.
Get wisdom, get understanding. Forget not, neither decline from the words of my mouth.
So it says, get wisdom. And with all that getting, get understanding. And forget it not. Because if you're physically on point, and you're mentally on point, guess what? It leads you to something else. I ain't giving it to you yet. All right? I'm going to give you some scenario before we can move on to the next one. When you get the understanding, what the understanding you get, you apply those understanding. Those wisdom you're getting is telling you that, okay, listen, the fact that I'm already physically fit, I got to educate myself and continue to learn every day that I wake up and learn something new that will help me achieving my goals and my dream and my vision. Most rich men, you know what they said to themselves? Every day they wake up, the first thing they do, they plan their days. The next thing, they go to work out. Right? They work out, exercising, because they know something. If for them to have the energy to push forward, to persevere on what they're trying to accomplish, they need the health, they need to have the knowledge, they need to be disciplined. That way, that would help facilitate them with trying to achieve these goals or this dream. Read that again for me. Proverbs 4 verse 5 to 6.
Proverbs 4 verse 5 to 6. Get wisdom.
Get wisdom.
Get understanding. Forget not, neither decline from the words of her mouth. Forsake her not, she shall preserve thee. Because love her, and she shall keep thee.
He says get knowledge. Because wisdom, knowledge is the applications, knowledge is the applications of wisdom that you have. You have the knowledge, and the definition of wisdom is to know the time. When and when not to do something. Wisdom is decision making. Because if you have wisdom, you'll know what to do. at the right time. That's what it's telling you. First you know. The power of you knowing then will lead you to have, would show the wisdom that you have by when you are applying it. There's a difference with you learning, you get yourself educated, but when it comes to decision making, you don't know how to do that. That shows that you have no wisdom, isn't it? Okay, next thing. The third thing is, that goes with you having a vision, is you must be spiritually fit. You see, spiritually faith come on the third. Not the first. Because if they all works together. If you're not physically fit, you cannot learn. You cannot learn, because if your mind ain't right, you can't, what you gonna put in there? Right? You can't put nothing in there if your mind ain't right. What do I mean by your mind ain't right? Because you sick, your head, you got headaches, your stomach is hurt, you got a disease like cancer. If you're not fit physically, then you cannot learn anything. The second thing is, when you learn those things, right? If you don't know how to apply them, then it's like you never learn anything. That's what wisdom telling you, right? And the third thing is, you must be spiritually fit. What do I mean by that? Give me John 6, verse 63. The book of St. John, chapter 6, verse 63. John 6, verse 63. You remember Job? Job, it says, Job feared the Most High. That's him living a spiritual life. It says he walked upright. He was a perfect man, and he feared the Most High. Because they goes along. Give me John 6:63. You got that?
John 6, verse 63.
Read.
It is the spirit that quickeneth.
It is the spirit that quickeneth.
The flesh profited nothing.
The flesh profited nothing.
The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life.
So what you put, when I said you mentally fit, meaning that you have learned the wisdom of the Most High. You have educated yourself with the wisdom, the instruction the Most High gave you. Now the applications of you understanding those wisdom is when you live in it, you put it into action by you living a spiritual life. Because the law says, what? You cannot eat certain things. You cannot do certain things. Because by doing so, it's going to affect you, disable you, so you won't be able to do or accomplish your vision or your goal. Right? Give me Proverbs 6:23. Proverbs 6:23.
Proverbs 6, verse 23. For the commandment is a lamp.
For the commandment is a lamp,
and the law is light. And reproofs of instruction are the way of life.
It says, for the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light, and reproof of instructions are the way of life. When you understand how to be physically fit, your mentalness is on point, is in good condition, then you live in a spiritual life. This is what living a spiritual life, because the spiritual life is what's going to preserve you to continue learning, to continue have a stable mindset, to continue maintain a physical fitness. Right? That's what living a spiritual life will do to you. And you cannot have one without the other. If you have one, you don't have the other, it's like you didn't have nothing. Why we as a people, we cannot prosper, we cannot succeed. Anything that we put on our mind, today we in it, tomorrow we give up. We are people, we love to give up on things. We have no desire, no dream, nothing. We could say we're going to do something today, and tomorrow we already forget about what we said we was going to do. How can we be something if we're not about what we say? You're quick to forget about a vision. A vision, when you have a vision, you already see. If I see I'm going to create this, I know the step that I have to take to get there. Because that's what discipline gives you the direction. Discipline gives you the direction to get to the location or the destination that you're trying to achieve, to get there. Okay? The discipline will teach you, okay, I see the direction, and I have to make sure I condition myself to get there. You already have the vision. You have the discipline. All you have to do is walk. But we as a people, we don't have that. We said, oh man, you know what? Tomorrow, I wanna build this business, man. This business it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. Like Trump. It's gonna be great. Right? It's gonna be super great. And I believe in it. And I believe it's gonna be super great. Tomorrow, went to sleep. Tomorrow I had a bad dream and forget about the dream that he had.
You go about your business.
The next tomorrow I wake up, man, forget about this dream. I don't think this is gonna work. You never do anything to make it work. How do you know it's not gonna work?
Because you don't believe in your own dream.
Because why? Having a principle, the definition of principle is the fundamental of belief. When you have a principle, you're literally telling yourself you have a fundamental belief in you that will motivate you to accomplish something. When you said you're living with principles, meaning that you have a set of beliefs that you live by, that you have them within you, is like a driving force that always pushing you to get to the level that you want to get. That's what it is. But us as a people, we don't have that drive. We always want to give up, but we want everything upon the face of the earth. You want everything, but you don't do nothing to get everything. We want the easy way out. We want the wealth, but we don't want to go through the process.
You don't like to work hard.
But Job worked with his own hands, and he accomplished all the things that he was about to accomplish. He became the wealthiest guy around around those areas.
On the east side.
On the east side, he was the wealthiest guy on the east side. And everybody knew Job because he was one of the richest guy, or wealthiest guy. Right? But because he worked with his hand. Because wealth gotten by your own hand would honor you, will exalt you. But wealth getting by vanity, meaning that if you get wealth by stealing, you get wealth by committing fornication, or doing anything that contrary to the law, there is no reputation for that. People would know you as a man who steals to get what he got. But they would not know you as someone who worked hard and able to accomplish this. People give you respect when you can show proof. This is what I've done to get there. This is what you call the process. And our people, we're afraid of the process, but we love the wealth.
Sometimes you have to choose the process.
But only if they understood that. That's the problem. Give me Psalms 37, verse 23. Reason why I say early, if you poor, because 25, read verse 25. Psalm 37, verse 25. And after that, read verse 23. The reason why I say that if you poor is because you cause yourself to be poor. The Bible already tell you. The Most High gave you the answer, the blueprint. You have the plan already. Psalm 37. 25.
Verse 25.
Read.
I have been young, and now I'm old. Yet I have not seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread.
So the Most High, David said, I have been young, and I am old now. I have never been seen the righteous forsaken, and the righteous begging bread, because the Most High always took care of the righteous. Because not only the Most High took care of the righteous, reason why the Most High took care of the righteous, because the righteous understood one thing. For the Most High to take care of them, they got to walk uprightly unto the Most High. They got to keep the laws. They got to walk perfectly before the Most High. And Job understood that. David understood that. And David was a great man too. Solomon was the son of David. And he was one of the what?
The wealthiest man.
Wealthiest man around his era. During his era.
Yep.
But guess what? Today we're serving the Most High. While are we in the Shabbat? Learning, we're thinking about what we're going to eat. It shouldn't be that way. Serving the Most High shouldn't be that hard. It should be an easy thing. Because what do? You just read the law and keep the law. The law become hard to us when we are poor. The law is hard to us when we are poor. If you're poor, you're going to always see the law as a hard thing. Because a wealthy man make his own decision. Don't go clucked in. A wealthy man say, listen, tomorrow I'm going to be in Brazil, and the next day I'm going to be in what? In Africa?
You got money.
That's the power.
That's the power.
And the Most High says, He are gods in Psalm 82, verse 6.
Yeah, dying because
But he shall die like men. Why? Because we think like a man, we don't think like a God. A man is a servant, but a God lead.
That's what
A man is a servant, but a God lead. Understand that.
That's why we as Israel, we've been leading by the ordination.
We've been leading according to our own man nature, according to the nature of men, not according to God. Because when the Most High says, be ye perfect on Matthew 5:48, be ye perfect even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect, is telling you that if I am a God, you can be a God. And for you to be a God, you got to do a thing that things that a God will do. The first thing a God will do is to get himself a wealthy. Because no one want to follow a man that is poor. Right?
What do I want? You cannot help me.
Look at, what's his name? Elon Musk, right?
Musk, yeah.
People follow him. Do you think they follow him because he's the brightest guy up on the face of the earth?
Because he got money. They look at him as if,
They look at him as a model because guess what? He got something to prove. And people respect you for what you have. Not for what you only know, but for what you have. What you know is what helped you to get what you have. But people will respect you for what you have. What they can see that you have. Things that I know, people can't see things in my mind. They can see my fruit, my labor. What am I doing? That's your proof of me doing something right. Am I correct or wrong? If I see the sister, she's a good sister. I have something to say about the sister. She's a good sister is because I know she's always, concerned about other people. She always give me food when I need food, right? She's a good sister. Now, I don't say she's a good sister because of what she knows. I care about what she's able to give me. She's able to provide her fruit. This is what people see.
she will not let me starve.
Because when I'm hungry, I say, see, listen, man, I'm hungry. I got a hungry. This week I'm hungry. That's Haitian talk.
And my sister said, you know what? I got you, man.
See, I got you. Right? Made a meal, and I'm able to sit down and enjoy a meal. But guess what? I see her for what she can able to provide. And the people would respect you and give the Most High respect if you follow the ways of the Most High. You understand, okay, for me to be saying that I am a godly person, I must walk according to the ways that the Most High himself will walk. Because the Most High show proof that he can walk uprightly. The Most High show proof that he can give you wealth. But are you in a position to receive the wealth that he has for you? As a nation, we shouldn't be suffering Like right now, look at the rent right now. Our people, the rent isn't skyrocketing, and our people are moving from left to right. Because why? Cannot afford to rent the house. Used to pay $1,200. Now you're paying rent $1,500 to $2,000, and your paycheck is under paycheck. Paycheck is not even $1,000 every 2 weeks. How are you going to afford a bedroom that is $1,500? The power of being wealthy, because wealth gives you freedom. Wealth gives you liberty to do whatever you want to do. You want to live in this area, I'm going to live in this area because I possess the assets. I possess the wealth. I have the wealth to enable me to do that. But if you ain't got nothing, hey, listen, gentrification come, you're the first one to move. Because listen, man, you cannot afford to take care of yourself, not even to put bread on the table. This is the life. But it happened because we failed not to follow the Most High God ways. Next, Psalm 37, verse 39 to 40. Are you with me, my friend? All right, let's go. Psalm 37, verse 39 to 40. It's not all about the money, but it's about the knowledge and how to get the money and to have the money forever. 37, verse 39 to 40. We're almost done with that one.
Psalm 37, verse 39 to 40. But salvation of the righteous is of the Most High.
Salvation of the righteous is of the Most High. Just like David says, I've been young and I've been old. I've never seen the righteous forsaken. You know what? I missed that verse on Psalm 37, verse 23. You didn't read that. 23? Yes. Read that again.
Psalm 37, verse 23.
Yes.
The steps of a good man are ordered by the Most High.
What makes a man a good man? The law.
Yes.
Romans 7 and 12. Yes. The law is good. A man is a good man. The law makes the man a good man. It says the step of a good man is ordered by the Most High, meaning the Most High direct the step of a good man. He will never let you down. If you are living a spiritual life, meaning you walking according to the ways of the Most High. What you was reading in Psalm 37, verse 39 to 40? Yes. Read that again.
First, Psalm 37, verse 39 to 40.
Read.
But the salvation of the righteous is of the Most High.
The salvation of the righteous is of the Most High. Meaning for you to be saved, it depends on the Most High. Read.
He is the strength in the time of trouble.
He is the strength in the time of trouble. If you have a vision you want to accomplish, you have followed these steps, there is no way you cannot accomplish them. Because why? Because your step is ordered by the Most High. The Most High promised you, it guarantee you success. No matter how, He's going to give it to you as long as you follow His way. You let Him to direct your path. Right? Proverbs 3, verse 5 to 6. Get those precepts. They're very important. Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5 to 6. Proverbs after Psalms 3. 5 to 6.
Proverbs 3, verse 5 to 6.
Read on.
Trust in the Most High with all thy heart.
Trust in what?
Trust in the Most High with all thy heart.
When you spiritually fit, you trust in the Most High with all your heart. Read.
And lean not unto thy own understanding.
You do not lean unto your own understanding. Read.
In all thy ways acknowledge Him, and He shall direct thy paths.
You acknowledge the Most High in all your ways because you know the only person who will direct your path is the Most High. Just like it says in Psalm 37, verse 23, the step of a good man is ordered by the Most High. The last thing we're going to get. And if you want to serve the Most High, you must be financially fit. What do I mean by that? Give me Ecclesiastes 7 and 12. Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 12. After Proverbs. Ecclesiastes 7 and verse 12. Verse 12.
Ecclesiastes verse 7.
Chapter 7.
Chapter 7 verse 12.
Read.
For wisdom is a defense, and money is a defense.
So we spoke about wisdom earlier, but it says something else. It says money is a defense. Because without money, you cannot operate in certain things. Read.
But the excellency of knowledge is that wisdom gives life to them that have it.
Wisdom give you life to them that have it. The reason why wisdom come out to be first, not money, because understanding, you can have money, but you don't know how to use your money. You can have money, but you're not a wealthy person. Because what? You don't have the understanding, the wisdom to know when to make certain decision or not. Or to even know when to make certain investment or not. Because wisdom is what gives you the security to preserve your life, to live a long life, to have your business or to have your wealth pass on to your children and children's children. We could read that. Yes, because the wisdom give you the understanding for you to get the money, because you understand that everything that you do, it require, mostly everything you do, you require for you to have money. The wisdom teaches that you need the money to function. You cannot accomplish a vision if you're not financially fit. Because if you're trying to get to accomplish a vision, but you're not financially fit, how can you do that? You don't have the drive. Because at some point, you're going to stuck on the road. You can't go further because you need money. You lack of money. If you have a vision, you got to know how to approach your vision. And the way to approach it is following those 4 steps. You must be physically fit. You must be mentally fit. You must be spiritually fit. And the last, you must be financially fit. Because those 4 things is what can help you accomplish anything you want to accomplish in life. It doesn't have to be with just money, with just wealth. It has to do with everything in life. Serving the Most High is one. And you cannot serve the Most High if you're not financially stable. Why? Because if you have to drive over there right now to go preach somewhere, you need money to do that. Don't you? Yep. The ticket for the airplane ain't no joke right now. They're expensive. And as a man who's serving the Most High, as a man who try to do the righteousness and go out there and preach the Most High, you understand one thing. I need money for me to enable me to travel so I can preach the gospel. You have a question, my brother? You done? You have a question? He started to get what? Get his life in order with the Most High. That's good. Understand? Because that's what a wise fool man will do. He can have health, wealth. He can possess a lot of things. But it's temporary if you don't have, if you're not walking, you don't believe in the Most High. Because the Most High is what's going to allow you to pass your wealth from generation to generation to your children's children. That's the difference. You got something to say?
I just looked him up. He looks like a Edomite, but
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of them, you think Edomite is like a lot of people.
Right. But a lot of time, our people, we tend to focus on the things that is not going to help us to fulfill anything in life. Understand? Because if you don't understand those principles, you don't understand what it is to be a wealthy person, you will never do things that would help you to to become wealthy. And this is why the knowledge of the Most High, the wisdom, the understanding will give you the ability to do so, to become wealthy. In other words, give me Romans chapter 12 verse 11. And to be financially fit, there is a conditions that you have to met. Give me Romans 12 verse 11. It's like Romans chapter 12 verse 11.
Romans chapter 12, verse 11.
Read on.
Not slothful in business.
What does it say again?
Not slothful in business.
In other words, it's telling you that if you're trying to accomplish a goal and you're lazy as hell, you don't want to do nothing, how you expect to accomplish, to become wealthy? If everything you put your hands on, you give up the next day, how are you going to become wealthy? And next day, you're going to blame the Most High. Why I didn't accomplish this? Yeah, that's your fault. It's not the Most High's fault. It's your fault. Because the Most High already do his part. He already give you the ability to think, to have that vision. But to put it into action, he's not going to come do it for you. You as a God, you're supposed to do it. Proverbs 13 and 4. Proverbs 13 and verse 4.
Proverbs chapter 13, verse 4. The soul of this sluggard desire and had nothing, but the soul of the diligent shall be made fat.
So the sluggard is a lazy man. A lazy man desire things. They sit down every day desiring what they can have and what but they never go through the process of trying to do something to become something. But the soul of the diligent, it said diligent. What does the word diligent mean? The person who is not lazy. Always ready to do something, to accomplish something. He said the soul of the diligent, what? The soul of the diligent, what does it says the soul of the diligent?
Yeah,
Shall be made fat. A man that wakes up every morning and work on his vision and his dream, now eventually he's going to walk smart and kick.
Because he worked for it.
Because he worked for it. Did I read that earlier? Yeah, get it. No, Proverbs 22:29. You could read that. Yeah. It says a sluggard desire many things, but he's not gonna achieve anything because he never worked to accomplish anything. Read.
Proverbs 22, verse 29. Seest thou a man diligent in his business? He shall stand before kings. He shall not stand before mean men.
So it says a man that is diligent in his business shall stand before king. Why? Because when a man is a man when it's about his vision, it's about his business. That's what I said earlier. A man, one thing I come to understand is, a man as a man you should never seek to have a woman if you don't have a vision. Because the vision, you should have a vision first before you seek for a woman. Because what was the purpose of you having a woman? It's to help you to accomplish that vision. Because the woman is a helper to you as a man. But the first thing we seek for is to have what? A woman. And the next thing is the woman doesn't respect you as a man because what? You don't have a vision, you have nothing to give. Who respects someone who have nothing to provide? You're a loser. That's what they call you. You cannot provide, they call you a loser. Listen, man, it's life. You got to take life serious. You got to get your act together. Because if you don't, you're going to spend your whole life being miserable and blaming everybody why your life is jacked up. You have to acknowledge what you have done wrong, correct yourself, and change the way that you live, the way that you do things. Educate yourself, get wisdom, get understanding, fulfill your dreams. Perseverance is the key. When you start something, try to accomplish it until you reach the end, don't give up. Because nothing great comes easily. Anything that you're trying to accomplish, there's going to come trial. I'm not going to tell you it's going to be easy. Nothing is easy in life. Because if it's easy in life, everybody would do it.
If it's easy, it's not good.
If it's easy, it's not good. I guarantee you, it's not good. Something that cheap, never good. When you go in Dollar Tree, you purchase something, you expect for that to last you today to tomorrow. No. Listen, bro. It's Dollar Tree. It's not Dollar Tree now, it's $1.25. Because life is getting expensive.
Oh, they went up.
$1.25 plus tax, and about $1.50. We'll call it Dollar Tree no more. Right? But this is life. As life progress, you got to progress with life. How you do that? Have a vision. Because without a vision, you're not living. Because the scripture says, without a vision, the people perish. You're not living a life if you don't have a vision. Yes, you're persistent. You're always looking for ways to improve yourself. Working hard every day. I started working hard, man. I work hard. You know, you got to practice what you teach. Listen, man, as I'm teaching, I'm learning. That's how you're going to be able to grow. I don't master all this. I'm teaching this, I don't master all this. Because I ain't rich yet. I'm not wealthy yet, but I have a vision. That's what differentiates me. Now I have a vision. I know where I'm going. I can see what I can accomplish with the wisdom and the knowledge that Most High gave me. I know I need to fix my physically, I need to be fit. And the second thing is, I need to be mentally fit. I got to continue to educate myself. By getting the understanding, the wisdom, now I have to make sure that my ways, I live according to the ways of the Most High. And the last thing is, I got to get my money on right. That's why I work hard every day. I work hard, man. You understand? You work hard. Because you got to have a vision to live in this life and to serve the Most High better. Because Job's, all those guys, David, Solomon, you hear about them. They was able to serve the Most High righteously because they had their financial situation in order. They were financially stable. And all those that was not financially stable, you don't hear them like that in the Bible. You don't hear them as men who was walking perfectly before the Most High. Every man you hear walk perfectly before the Most High, always men with substance. Men which had things, who has like assets.
The Most High already blessed them.
The Most High blessed them because the Most High won't bless someone who's being wicked. If he bless you with wicked, if you're wicked, he bless you, you're gonna become more wicked. If you slothful in business, it give you a business, you become more slothful, more lazy. You're gonna destroy the business the minute you get it. The Most High is not stupid to give you anything you want. The Most High is a man of his word. If he promised you, he's going to give it to you. But you got to do your part. I cannot invest in you if I don't see the reason for me to invest in you. Show me why I should invest in you. Then I will. But if you don't give me no reason, there is no reason for me. I keep my money in my pocket. It's the same way for the Most High. I mean, the time is running fast. Let's get to it. This the last verse. Not the last verse, but let me get two precepts. And the last thing you got to remember, give me Proverbs 13, verse 11. That goes along with, with earlier, how you got to make sure you live a righteous life. Because you can get wealth, but at the same time, when you finish getting that wealth, it could be like a curse to you. Read. Proverbs
13, verse 11.
Read.
Wealth gotten by vanity shall be diminished, but he that gathereth by labor shall increase.
So if you work for your wealth, you're going to always increase, meaning that your health will stand forever. But if you get the wealth by vanity, guess what? Here today and diminish tomorrow. Why? Because you didn't go through the process to obtain that wealth. You like the easy way.
You wasted.
Right? Next thing you know, you're sleeping in your bed and your conscience is constantly kicking your butt because guess what? You didn't get the wealth the right way. You kill someone to get the money, to get the wealth, and you're trying to sleep right. How are you going to sleep right?
No, you never sleep right.
No, man, your conscience will come after you. And your biggest enemy is your conscience. People don't know that. Your biggest enemy is your conscience. Because if you cannot sleep at nighttime without your conscience reproaching you of the things that you have done, my friend, you're living a wrongful life. You understand? Because if you get something wrongful way, your conscience will always come after you. You don't get away with it. A lot of people die, if it's because of their conscience, because of remorse, regretful. Things they've done, they be like, man, there's no reason. I don't deserve to have this. Now, all of a sudden, you feel sad. You don't feel like you're enjoying life as you should have enjoyed life. And the man who works so hard, who gets to the top, he be like, ha, I'm good. Because why? He works hard with his hand, with the sweat with his sweat. That's how he managed to get his wealth. Now, who can reproach him? Who can say something bad about him? Because he works hard for it.
They know every day
they know you put the work every day.
Put the work in.
And people follow someone who they see that they can be a model to them. Someone who can direct them on a righteous path without throw them aside just to make silly decisions that would affect them for the rest of their life. Okay? My last verse. Last verse. Proverbs 22 and 7. Proverbs 22 and verse 7.
Proverbs chapter 22, verse 7.
Read.
The rich rule over the poor.
What again?
The rich rule over the poor.
So it's plain and simple. The rich would always rule over the poor. Now, if you complaining about, the rich is...
All you got to do, God.
My goodness, we love to complain. Oh, the rich. Well, they work for it.
What have you tried?
Why have you tried? What have you done to help you get yourself become rich?
I'm not going to keep blaming them. I got to try myself. If the most I see, I try.
Listen, I don't blame nobody for my problem. If I have a problem, I fix it myself. Because no one going to fix your problem for you.
Nah, nothing going to be given free to you.
No one will fix. Anyone who promised you they're going to fix your problem for you, tell them you a big old lie. Because my problem, it's my problem. And I have to deal with it. You can help me financially, but you won't solve my problem if I don't solve it. If I have a problem with money and you just come and you give me $50,000 and I solve the problem right there, you don't help me. You solve the problem, but you don't help me. The help come with you saying, okay, I'm going to show you how to get there so you could stand forever. to obtain the money that you need to solve your problem. Anytime a problem arises, you can depend on your own because you're going to have the needs. You're going to have the ability to take care of your problem. You teach you how to fish, not give you a fish. That's what the scripture telling you. So listen, man. If we got to work as a people, we got to change our lifestyle.
Gotta read the whole verse.
What?
Gotta read the whole verse.
We finish it then.
The rich rule over the poor.
Uh-huh.
And the power.
Read like a man, man. Like, come on. You're reading soft right here. You're being soft on me. Come on,
You
man.
take it out from me, Mike.
Come on, man. You
The
hungry?
rich rule over the poor.
Yeah, the rich rule over the poor.
And the borrower is servant to the lender.
And the borrower is the servant to the lender. We all the servant here because we all got debts. Starting from me, got a lot of debts, man. Got to clear them. But I understand now. You understand? We understand that we got to change our ways. For us to change our ways, we got to be wealthy. To not be a servant to the borrower no more. Right?
Con.
All right. So I'm going to leave you guys with that verse. But keep this lesson in your mind because that's going to help you for the long run. No matter what age you are right now, if you can change something in your life, you can do it. It starts with a vision. You got something to say, my brother? Uh-huh. It says train up a child. Is that what you're referring to? Yeah. Okay. Proverbs 22:6 says, train up a child the way he should grow. When he is old, so he will not depart. So even as a child, you train up your child. You know, what your parents should do for you is teach you about wealth. And the right way to get wealth. Understand? So, and your parent is doing a good job, because if you can ask that question, you know, it means that you're in the process. All right, so thank you for the viewers online for the patience. I know it's a little bit late. We finished a little late today. We encountered some difficulties, but we managed to do the lesson anyway. Praise the Most High. Give the Most High a hand. You know, I pray that this message be a nutrient to your body, and so that you may be able to carry those messages throughout the rest of your life, you know, to avoid being a servant, to avoid being a slave to a borrower. Okay, go to check cashing and borrow money from people, and they say you cannot possess anything. You know, from now on, 2 years from now, you need to have a vision to have yourself stable. So you could say, man, 2 years from now, I need to be able to take care of myself. If you couldn't take care of family, say, listen, this is my goal, my vision this year for me to take care of my family. I need to be able to provide for my family. If my family needs something, I need to be able to respond. This is the vision. So we can only do that by applying those wisdom and knowledge and understanding the ones I gave us.
And one thing to be corrected at, instead of us going to the white man to borrow money, if anybody in the community, we can borrow money from them, you will do the same. Just like, don't give the money, like, you know, when they need it, because the white man gonna charge you interest, but your sister, they will not be able to charge you interest.
Yeah.
You
But that's if our sister got the money.
Yeah.
But a lot of time we ain't got it because we all poor, right? And we had to go to the white man, right? But it's all start with taking the first step, having the understanding to do the right thing. You know, working yourself, working your vision, and steadfast, persevere, and continue to strive in the daily basis. Every day you wake up, create a planner. Every day you wake up. At my house, I have a notebook. I have a planner for a month, and I have one for a week, and I have for a day. Every day I wake up, all the things that I put to set up to accomplish for the month, I have it in a week. I scratch down everything that I have to accomplish. And every day I wake up, the first thing I look at is my notes, what I have to do. I plan my day. By doing so, you're going to see that you're working. You're living with purpose, not just living life and just, you know, it goes whatever. We shouldn't be living that way. So, time management, as we learned last time. So, this is what's important. As a nation, we should be the richest nation to ever existed. But we can't. No one. We don't know the process of getting wealth to become wealthy. Come?
Con.
All right. Let's make the last prayer. Mighty upon him. Please stand and face Jerusalem. Hallelujah.
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 Well, Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for this wonderful knowledge I enjoy teaching this lesson because of the wisdom and the knowledge that you put in me.
Yes, sir.
I thank you so much because without you, there's no way this message could have come that way. But you use me, you send your Holy Spirit upon me to project this message so that your people may be edified. All praises and honor and glory be unto you. We ask you, Father, now that we have learned the lesson, we have gained the wisdom, we ask you to please help this lesson be a nutrient to your body so that wherever we go, we can always eating that same food to have it in our mind, in our body, in our soul, so that we can always prosper in whatever things we put our hands into. Because understanding is one thing, but the practice of the understanding that you have is another thing. We ask you to please help us to have that self-control, to have that discipline, to have that vision, so that we can accomplish anything that we want to accomplish in life, as long as it's based on your laws and righteousness. So please watch over our souls, watch over our body, watch over our mind, to not think about wrongful things, because the mind is where all the information is processed. But if our mind is full with all the wrongful things, we are going to be able to make the wrongful decision as well. But if our mind is full with spiritually bred, spiritually things, we would make the wise decision. We would have a good discernment so that we won't make silly mistakes and regret later on. So praise thy name, Father. Thank you for allowing us to be there today. It's not because we are perfect, we are better than the others, but because you have passion, you have compassion upon us. You gave us the ability to be here because of your grace and the Mashiach grace, that we are able to be here today. We thank you so much. We praise thy name by Hashem Mashiach Yahushai. As we're about to go home, please protect us on the road. Let nothing happen to us. Let everything be done according to thy will. By Hashem Mashiach Yahushai. Toda Aman.
Amen.
Shabbat Shalom Israel. Shabbat Shalom Yainu. Barak Hashem Israel. Hallelujah Hashem Yahweh. Shabbat Shalom Israel. Shabbat Shalom Yainu. Barak Hashem Israel. Hallelujah Hashem Yahweh. Give the Most High a hand, guys. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you, our viewers. Tomorrow we have the new moon. Please be there. Tomorrow we're going to be at 8 o'clock. The new moon, the 26th, 28th. So tomorrow is going to be the 28th. This is our next new moon. So please be there if you can. Make the best arrangement to be there. Because as long as you're keeping the laws of the Most High, you're on the safe side. You understand? So we're going to be here at 8 o'clock. And we're going to be live streamed too as well. So praise that the Most High make everything go well so that we can be able to break bread together. Shabbat Shalom. Don't speak your own word on the Shabbat, because this is still the Shabbat. Keep yourself holy. The Most High bless you all. Shalom.